So the balanced data slate is later this month, and it's a big opportunity for Games Workshop to make struggling armies better and overpowered armies more in line. Though in this video I thought we'd talk about some Reavers get good somehow. I guess likely with dropping points in this kind of update, though having some sort of rules boost would probably be preferable eventually. It just feels a bit sad for them that the spooky scary Phobos Marines have basically never really been particularly strong in game. Otherwise, for
Yeah,
potential
you can't
choices, things
nerf.
like the
You can
Tactical
only do
Marines,
points
the
changes
Hammerfall
now.
Bunker, the
Because if
Storm
you
Planes, Stern Guard, or
change the
Outriders,
rules,
I feel
then
like all of
you
those
have to
could pretty
reissue
well
a
go
copy
down,
of the
just
codex
given their
for everyone who
competition within
bought
the
it already.
Codex. If I had to choose one unit to go up in cost, I feel like the Inceptors or
Pretty
maybe the
annoying.
Scouts would be pretty reasonable choices. They wouldn't need to go up much, I don't think, but they do seem to be rather auto-include for the Space Marine objective scoring game. I'm really not sure why they decided to drop the cost from Inceptors from 115 down to 110 last time round. Most competitive lists were already taking them for their 3-inch drop to guarantee secondaries and having quite good damage already. And I feel like Scouts perhaps seem a little bit weirdly cheap at 55 points. I feel like if they were 60, they'd still get taken quite a bit, as a really quite cheap infiltration unit with some good advantages. We'll do the Divergent chapters towards the end of the Imperium, but next let's jump forward to the Imperial Guard. The Astra Militarum are getting win rates of around about 45%. Occasionally people are managing to win tournaments with them, but overall I'd still say they're an army that overall needs a boost rather than a nerf. I'd say that overall the internal balance of the Codex actually isn't too bad. Most datasheets are genuinely usable in competitive lists, just the army's a little bit underpowered as a whole. Maybe for a particular choice you could boost the Death Strike a bit. Its rules in 10th edition. For the Tyranids, they feel like their detachments aren't in the worst place in the world right now. That overall their performance is around about 47% wins, maybe lower mid overall. And a few of the
Well, why
detachments
you
do
want to
feel
nerf
significantly better than
my
others. Crusher Stampede in
Tyrannosax?
particular will be quite nice to get a boost for if Games Workshop is going to go down that route of actually trying to balance detachments against each other. Might be kind of unlikely given their attitude to that in the past though. I feel like perhaps more so than most armies though, the Tyranids really have some massive winners and losers in their codex, just a whole bunch of units that are weirdly overcosted compared with their peers, and a lot of things that could really easily be targeted for big points cuts. Maybe the single most obvious one might be the Tyrannofex, which just bizarrely went up about
Oh,
50 points despite its ability getting a bit worse, and that one seemingly was completely at random, going from a good unit to a very bad one with no break in between. Otherwise, though, there's just really quite a lot of other overcosted
it's not
stuff.
a
The
bad
Swarm
unit.
Lord, Hive Guard, the Spore Assist, and Spore Mines in general,
It's
the
their
Harpy and
only
Hive Prone, Tyranid
anti-vehicle
Warrior,
killer. Like, completely. The only anti-vehicle killer they got. And do want to claim it's bad.
is the Toxicrene, and the Screamer Killer. I feel like literally all of those could do with points cuts, really. Quite a significant chunk of their codex there. If Games Workshop were to give those already significant boosts and make them good competitive units, maybe a few things could afford to go up a little. For the most auto-include Tyranid things around, some combination of Neurolictors and the Death Leaper seem to be present in the vast majority of Tyranid competitive lists, which perhaps shows they're a little bit overshadowing other options and a bit good for their cost. Otherwise, I feel like Gargoyles would still get played if they went up by 5 points or so. Though between all that, they probably need a small boost rather than a
I
small
don't
nerf,
think
and just
gargoyles
have to
should
be
be
well
played that
compensated
much.
for
One
by
or
other
two,
things.
maybe? No,
For their
one?
disciples, the Gene Stealer Colts have a win rate of around about 48% at the moment.